2025 can be the year that you write your first book or your second book, or that you publish your book. And in this video, I show you what's essential to get there. I'm Andrea. I'm a German bestselling author of more than 40 books, and I'm here to share my experience on writing with you and on publishing. Writing a book, this seems like climbing a very high mountain. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about, because before writing my first book, before actually starting to write my first book, I was like, I can't do that. How could I possibly write this many words? I didn't even know how long an average book was. So here's the thing. It's not about climbing that mountain. It's about taking the first step. And I know you've heard this before, but stick with me. When you only see that big mountain, you feel like you're so small and the mountain is so big and you could never possibly reach that top. And this is kind of true. Because when you start, you're small. But you gain strength and you gain experience and you gain confidence with every step you take. So, to get to the top of the mountain, you have to take these steps to grow into the person you'll be at that top. You need to be to get to that top. And to do that, to write that book, just to get off the metaphor, you need to have a plan. At least that's true for me. If I write without a plan, like not the plot plan, not like the whole content plan, the whole plan of the book, but a plan on when I write, how much I write, then I won't write. I had this before. Whenever I start writing without actually telling myself how many words I want to write that day, or how many words I want to write that week, or how many words the manuscript should have at the end of my writing time, then I don't write. Because I feel like I don't know if that's the expression in English, but in Germany we would say, I feel like I'm swimming. I feel like maybe drowning is a better word for that, because I don't know where to go. And even though I think the way to your goal is more important than the goal, I need these goals to find my direction, to know where I'm going. So the first thing you should do is write down a goal. And you might say, well, I don't know how many words I want to write, or how many words this manuscript needs to have. And this is kind of true, because you do have the ability to find out the average word count of a book in your genre. For instance, for romance novels, this can actually differ from as little as 30,000 words to 100,000 words, and it really depends on the book you want to write. The same is true for crime, but for fantasy, for instance, it's usually more than 100,000 words. So just check the internet or ask ChatGPT for the average word count of your precise genre, of your subgenre. So only for that you have like a mark, like something like kind of the height of the mountain. And this is important, because when you don't have it, you don't know where to go. You don't know how much time to plan out. And this is not about putting an exact amount of words into each day, but it's about finding a deadline. And you can only find a deadline when you know how huge the project is, right? And of course you might say, well, I could just start writing and I could just add words and words and words. And of course you can do that. And for some people this might work. It doesn't work for me. Because when I work with open ends, I need that kind of pressure to discipline myself in a way. In a good way, actually, in a really good way. Not the way It used to be when I tended to do my homework like in the last minute, not like that, but with a deadline. I do have a goal, like a goal I can work towards to, like Christmas in a way. Yeah, it's actually it's a little like Christmas. And when you have that goal, you can scratch out a rough plan. You can, for instance, you might say, well, I think I can do that book, I can write that amount of words in like 3 months. So when you give yourself 3 months, you can say, okay, within these 3 months, I think the first month might be a little different than the other 2 because I have to do some research and all that stuff. So in that month, I cannot write that many words like in the other 2 months. So you plan, like, for instance, you plan a book of 60,000 words. So you put like 10,000 into the first month. That keeps you with 50,000 left for the other 2 months. And you should plan with a buffer, meaning you shouldn't not only plan out 60,000 words but 70,000 words. So for instance, for January you put 15,000 words, and then for the other 2 months you put that's 27,500 words for each month. And then you can go down for the week. For instance, for January you would say, well, in the first week I'm only doing research, but in the other 3 weeks I could write 5,000 words a week. And then you go down to the day, and of course you cannot write the same amount of words each day, but you can, like, on Mondays you may have more time, so you can write 1,000 words on Monday, and on Tuesday we don't have that much time, so you can only do like half an hour. And now I could go down into how to, you know, find out how many words you can write in an hour and all that stuff. But this video is supposed to be short, and it's supposed to give you enough to just get started. So maybe for this next week, your goal could be to plan out your writing, to find this information about how long is my book going to be, how many months do I want to give myself into the book for writing, and just to break it down into these months and to find out that, well, for this month, it doesn't have to be January, maybe it's June when you watch that video or listen to that podcast. So how many words do I want to write in this month? And then just break it down until you find an action step, until you find something that you can really do. Because planning is all good and fine, but you need to have these action steps, and these are the actual tasks you put into your calendar or onto your to-do list. And this is something like, today I write 500 words in between 9 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the morning. So just do that, and I promise you, if you follow this and if you take these steps, because that's just what it is, all these tasks you have on your to-do list, these are steps, and if you take one step after the other, you will reach that mountaintop. Maybe, and that's just a maybe, you find out in between that this is not the mountain you want to climb, and that's totally fine. But don't give up because it's too hard, because it will get hard. It's hard in the beginning, it's hard in the middle, and it's hard in the end, but it's so worth it to climb that mountain. And if you want to, I have a free writing planner in my newsletter, so subscribe to my newsletter under andreawilk.com and you get it. And if you haven't done yet, please follow the channel. I'm just starting out here. I have a bigger channel in Germany, but this one's just starting out. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having watched this video. Have a beautiful start of the year, or mid of the year, or end of the year, whenever you're watching this. Thank you for being here. You're amazing and you're good enough. You do deserve to live your dreams. So just take that step. Bye. Yours, Andrea.